Okay, hey guys. So we're having to be real creative at school as far as videoing because first thing I just noticed is I got to turn my phone around or you're only going to see the side part. So we're videoing inside of a bucket on top of a cart. So today's lesson is like coming through a tunnel. So just bear with me for a little bit, but we're going to make it work, okay? Because what we're going to do today is we are going to work on equivalent fractions on the number line, showing how we can identify that they are the same because they're in the same place, okay? So we're going to have to kind of be creative about this a little bit. It may look like you're looking up at the sky. I'm sorry. But maybe I'll make it fun for you, okay? All right. Can you see the board? I think you can a little bit. Okay, guys, we may have to turn it the other way. I don't think that's going to make you look like you're looking through. Okay. Can you see me? See, we're coming through a tunnel. I'm sorry. But at least you can see the board, so just don't pay any attention to that up there, okay, guys? My phone is in a red bucket. Okay, let's go ahead and look at fractions on the number line. I want to make sure you can get real close enough so that you can see, okay? All right, so today's objective is we want to make sure that while we're looking at fractions on the number line, one, that we can plot them, two, that we know where the benchmark fractions go. We know where they go. And third, that we can identify equivalent fractions. Those are fractions that have different numbers in the numerator and the denominator, but they're the same. Okay, so let's watch this for example. I gotta make sure that I'm sorry guys, I'm having to be real creative here. Okay, let's look here. We're to draw us a number line. Remember, on our number line, we have a starting point and an ending point. So I'm gonna start with 0, and I'm gonna end with 1. You can tell I'm writing with my finger. I don't know where the pen has gone to. All right, so when we talk about fractions on the number line, real quick, firm up. Fractions have two numbers. They have a top number and a bottom number. So let's look at this fraction. Let's do the fraction 3/6. 3/6. Now notice I'm in 6. That means that I need 6 parts. So if I need 6 parts, boys and girls, remember I'm going to draw how many lines? Let me say it real loud. 5. That's right. Let's draw 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, like yesterday's lesson, we talked about each section needs to be equal parts or as close as possible, okay? I'm going to check and make sure that I've got 6 equal parts. And I'm going to put my dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, I have 6 equal parts. Now notice at the top, remember I've got 3, and that top number tells me to shade. So I'm going to go above the line. I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to shade 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. So there's where I can see it, but I want to identify 3/6 of the number line. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 3/6 would go right there, and I would label it 3/6. That is my fraction 3/6 on the number line. I'm going to go ahead and change my color for you, and then we would circle that is 3/6. So remember we practiced that yesterday. When you identify a fraction on a number line, I want you to circle it, okay? All right, let's look at it again. I want to firm up, refresh, whatever you want to call it, those benchmark fractions. We know that benchmark fractions always go where? I'm giving you a hint. Always go in the middle. They always go in the middle. So I'm going to draw my spider web that we did in our Zoom call. Let's see if you can finish it, okay? Let's see if you can finish it. So we had our circle in the middle, and then we did 4 arms off of our spider web, okay? Then we have 4 fractions that also fit into these equivalent fractions. 1/2 is the main benchmark fraction because it always goes in the middle. Let's see. I'm going to give you a hint. 1 is half of 2. So if 1 is half of 2, This next benchmark fraction, if we're going to go in order, is going to be 2 what? Say it loud. Fourths. That's right. 2 fourths, because 2 is half of 4. All right, what would come next? 3 6. Excellent job. Why, boys and girls? 3 is half of... Good. 3 is half of 6. That's right. All right, let's come on over here. What would go next? I'm going to say the numerator. See if you can say the denominator. 4 what? 8. That's right. 4 eighths. Can you tell me the last one? I'm going to go in order. Let's see if I'm going to re-say them and you can finish. 1 half. 2 fourths. 3 6. 4 eighths. Tell me the next one. 5 tenths. That's right. All of these fractions, boys and girls, these are our benchmark fractions. They will always go in the middle of your number line. So it's very important that you start to recognize those denominators that we're using. Halves, fourths, eighths, sixths, so that when we see those fractions on our number line, we're going to automatically start to know where the benchmark fraction would go and what the benchmark fraction is. So let's work on that strategy, okay? All right, draw your number line. Remember, your fraction number line, boys and girls, has 2 points. It has the starting point and the ending point. So you've got 0 where you're going to start, and you've got 1 where you're going to end. All right, boys and girls, I want to work with eighths. So I'm going to write eighths up here. All right, I'm going to give you just a couple of seconds. If I'm in eighths, rewind this video real quick. Look back and see what was the benchmark fraction that had 8 in the denominator, in the bottom number. I'll give you I'll probably give you about 10 seconds. Rewind the video. Find that spider web and see what fraction had 8s. All right, what was it, guys? 4 eighths. That's right, 4 eighths. So if I'm in eighths, by now I'm starting to recognize that I know the benchmark fraction for eighths is 4 eighths. So I'm going to go ahead and label that fraction. And that, boys and girls, that helps me to know what fractions would come before and what fractions would come after. So if I have 4 eighths, then the fractions that would come first, I would have 3 eighths, 2 eighths, and 1 eighth. All of those fractions would come before 4 eighths. That means those fractions are less than 4 eighths. There's got to be some fractions past 4 eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is on yesterday's independent work. Then you have 5 eighths, 6 eighths, 7 eighths. And then I also talked to you a little bit about yesterday, if I have the numerator and the denominator, if they both are the same number, where will they go? That's right, it'll be 1 whole. So you can even come over here if you want to and write 8 eighths, because 8 eighths, that numerator and the denominator are the same. It equals 1 whole. Excellent job, guys. Good. All right, now, let's get to the second part of today's objective, making sure we can identify equivalent fractions. That means I'm going to draw 2 number lines, and I'm going to have different fractions on that number line. I'm going to have a fraction here and a fraction here. I've got to find which ones line up together. Okay, so let's look at this. Draw you 2 number lines. All right, here's my 2 number lines. So I'm going to have starting point of 0 and ending point 1 for both of them. Because remember, all fractions start as a whole. You can't pull a fraction out of your pocket. You can't say here's 2/3 unless you had a whole piece first, okay? All right, on this fraction, or this number line, I want us to do a half. And on this number line, I want us to do 3 6. So I want us to plot these 2 fractions on this fraction number line, okay? All right, we know the first one, I need 2 parts. So if I take 1 away, how many lines will I draw? 1. I'm going to draw 1 line. That means that this is a half and that's a half. Put my dot here. You know why? Because I've got to plot this fraction. I need to plot 1/2. I've got my 2 parts, and I'm going to shade the top number. Remember, I'm going to shade what the numerator says. So 1/2, I'm going to even change my color. There is 1/2, okay? Now let's go to 3/6. 3/6, look at that denominator. I need 6 parts. So how many lines will I draw if I have 6 parts? 5, that's right. Let's go ahead and draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent job, guys. All right, now let's plot 3/6 on this number line right here, okay? So I need 6 parts. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now the numerator is 3. That means that I've got to shade 3 on top of the number line. So start at 0 and let's shade 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to put your big dot and plot that fraction. There is 3/6. All right, guys, now the new part of today's lesson is when you have 2 fraction number lines, one's on top and one's on bottom, you're trying to identify equivalent fractions. Do you see any dots from the top number line and the bottom ones that are in line with each other? Give you a couple seconds to look. I do. Look, if this was 1/2 and this one's 3/6, remember what Miss Precise says? If I can circle them and they fall in the same circle, then these 2 fractions are equivalent. 1/2 is going to be the same as 3/6 if they line up together. If they don't line up together, then they're not equivalent. And equivalent means the same. What does it mean? The same. All right, let's look at some more. Let's look at 2/4 and 5/6. 2/4 and 5/6. So I want to put 2/4 on this number line, and I want to put 5/6 on that number line. Our starting point and our ending points are what? Yell it really loud. That's right, 0 and 1. 0 and 1. You know what, guys? Pause the video. I want y'all to do this with me. So go ahead and pause it. Go get you some paper and pencil and come back. All right, you're back. Let's put 2/4 on this number line. Look at the 4. The 4 tells you that you need 4 parts. So if I need 4 parts, how many lines am I going to draw? 3 lines. That's right. So let's go ahead and draw 3 lines. Let's see, do I have 4 equal portions, 4 equal shares? 1, 2, 3, 4. I do. Now look at your numerator. Your numerator is 2. That means I have to shade 2. 2 on top of the number line. So start at 0 and shade 2. 1, 2. Now plot that fraction 2/4 on this number line. Go to your second line where you were drawing. And here is where you would have 2/4. 2/4. All right, I'm going to change my color. You keep your pencil. Now let me plot 5/6 on this number line. All right, 6 as the denominator means I need 6 parts. If I need 6 parts, how many lines am I going to draw? 5. That's right. Let's draw 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, guys, let's check and see if I have 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice I started at my starting point and I went all the way down to my ending point. The numerator tells me that I need to shade 5. Starting at 0, shade 5, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last thing, plot 5/6 on that fraction number line. So go to where you last colored and label that 5, 6. All right, guys, let's circle them. Let's see, are these equivalent? They will be equivalent if they line up. If they don't line up, they are not equivalent, okay? So there's 2 4s. There's 5 6. Are these equivalent? Are they the same? No, look guys, they didn't line up together. So these would not be equivalent. Not equivalent, okay? So on your whole group activity, we're about to guide you through the first 2, and I want you to see, can you identify fractions that line up together, okay? So go ahead and close this video, and let's go ahead and pull up our whole group.